Hi, friend. I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day, all-online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all-online event, as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach, lash educator, and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes. My name is Erica. I'm your host. And before we can jump into doing anything else with today's episode, I have a little bit of an embarrassing thing to tell you. So I was super busy in February, and we were sick for like 3 weeks straight with back-to-back illnesses, and there was just a lot going on. And I completely forgot about the 3-year anniversary of this podcast of Lash Biz Babes. And I'm embarrassed about that because it's such a big deal. I feel like it's a huge milestone. And I definitely have to commemorate it first and acknowledge it before any more time goes by. Yeah, we had a lot going on, and it popped up in my Facebook memories, like the 3-year anniversary at the end of February. And I was like, oh my gosh, how has it been so long already? It might not seem like that long, but in podcast world, that is a pretty decent length of time because most podcasts don't even make it past like the first few episodes or less. 3 years and almost 100 episodes in, pretty damn good. I'm pretty proud of that. And I think what makes this podcast so great is just the community of people that we have here who listen and who support it. And I've just been able to make the best friends and meet so many amazing people who listen and who've been on the show. And that's just always the best part of it for me is the people. So I just have to say thank you so much for being here, whether this is your first time listening and you've been listening to me yap for 2 minutes, or you've been a listener for 6 months or a year, 2 years, or the whole 3 years. I just hope you know how much I appreciate you, and thank you so much for listening and supporting this show. It has been such a game changer for my business and for my life. It's been the most fun part of my business for the last 3 years. I absolutely love getting to talk and just connect with you guys every single week. And it's truly changed my life. I'm so thankful for it. So thank you so very freaking much for being a part of our Lash Biz Babes family. So happy 3 years to us. With that, I feel like I can jump into the episode without feeling guilty that I forgot about that. I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace on that one. Hopefully you can too. I'm just really happy about this milestone and happy to have you here listening. So thank you so much. So with that, we're going to jump into this week's episode. I was really trying to think about, what could we talk about this week that could be like a 3-year anniversary episode, and had some different ideas, but I also was like, man, we've talked about so many things over the last 3 years. Like, what in the world could I continue to talk about that I feel like I haven't already talked about before, or, repeating myself over and over again. And that was kind of hard thinking about that. And I also just have been having, I don't know what to call it, a mid business crisis. I don't know what to even call that. Just like really behind the scenes making a lot of changes and realigning a lot of things. And I thought, you know what? I've always said this about my social media pages, but I feel this way about the podcast too, where I never want it to be just a highlight reel of all the successes and all the good things that have happened and how easy it all is or whatever else. I never want it to be a highlight reel. I want it to be raw, I want it to be real, I wanna share the hard things that happens behind the scenes, and also how I mean, really, I can only speak from my own experiences, so how I've been able to move through those hard things and be able to come out on the other side. I never want my social media pages to be just highlight reels, I never want the podcast to just be a highlight reel, so I figured because I'm going through this season and phase in my business right now that even though it's like a 3-year anniversary episode, we're just gonna share the raw and the real, and hopefully that connects with someone out there. Hopefully someone listening is able to pull something from this. Hopefully it's something that's helpful for you as you hit hard patches in your business and as you go through ups and downs in your business because I feel like a big part of being a business owner is being able to navigate through the ups and the downs sustainably and be able to consistently keep going and keep showing up for yourself even when it is hard. Basically, while we were sick in February, I just hit this point where I was just I think it was really maybe a bit of burnout or just really kind of hitting a wall with like I've been pushing so hard for so long and working so hard for so long and I feel like I realized that feeling really overwhelmed and stressed with a lot of things. So I was looking at that and realizing that I can't control certain factors of things, right? But I do have things that are within my control, and it's hard to look at what you've been doing and like look at how am I contributing to this overwhelm, to this stress, to the negativity that I'm feeling and I had to realize the part I was playing in all of that, and I think a huge thing that I realized was that my boundaries got leaky and so I'm going to talk about that more and talk about some of the different ways that they did get leaky and, what I'm doing about it and whatnot. Basically, I feel like I've just been pushing so hard, working so hard for the last 5+ years to grow my business and to serve our clients and to do all these things. And I think I just hit I'm pretty sure, like, some burnout, just, like, a slump of just, like, I can't keep going, like, it's not sustainable, that's the word I'm looking for. It's not sustainable to keep going at this pace anymore, and I need to clean some things up to keep it sustainable for me. And, we talk about and, the intro to this show and all that is, like, being able to grow your business and live a life that you love, and I absolutely love the life that I live, and I absolutely feel so blessed with how much I've been able to grow my business and the clients that we have and the lash clients I was able to have and all these different things. And I think I've just finally hit a point where I have to make some big adjustments behind the scenes to keep it sustainable for me because as life changes and your business changes and different circumstances happen, it just you have to evolve with it. And I think I've kind of hit this point where it's like, it's not just small changes I need to make, little adjustments. It's like, okay, wait, no, I can't keep going like this and I need to make some big changes. So, in the last episode, I talked about different time management and different things and, being a busy parent and things. And I think a lot of that is what I'm using to help me through this, but I'm really kind of having to refine things and I'm having to really look at what's working and what's not and kind of doing like an audit, which I feel like is something that is a really great thing to do if you're feeling stuck or if you want to like have a big period of growth or you're just kind of evaluating where you're at and what you can do to do better. And as your resident self-critical girly, I've talked about that quite a bit on the show where I've just really struggled with self-criticism over the years, like to an extreme amount. And I do a lot better with it now, but It's been a struggle for me over the years, and I feel like I've felt some more of that creeping in lately, and I've just been so negative towards myself. Because of that, I'm just like, okay, I need to reevaluate where I'm at. I need to look at, if I can feel that, I know I need to make some adjustments. Also, with that, is that when you're doing this type of audit, when you're looking at, okay, what's going well, what's not going well, where's maybe some of my weaknesses are, where are my strengths right now, what can I adjust? As your resident self critical girly, I know that it can feel hard because you're feeling down on yourself when you're thinking about those things, or at least that's how I can feel sometimes. And so I want you to remember that this doesn't mean that you're a bad person or a bad business owner or a bad lash artist or a bad parent or any of the things, any of the titles that you hold. It doesn't mean you're bad at that. It just means that we are looking at what is going well, where can we make some improvements? And you just are looking for ways to grow, okay? You can kind of audit and say, what's going well, what's not going well. So that's where I found myself in the last few weeks. And that's why there wasn't a new episode last week because I was trying to record an episode and I was struggling so hard and just having such a hard time. I just felt like I just can't. I felt like I was forcing myself to record an episode just for the sake of getting it out. And that's not the kind of content I want to put out for you guys. And I also just was like, I'm just gonna give myself the space that I need right now to breathe and to make the adjustments that I need to and get back in the right headspace to be able to keep going and doing this consistently because forcing yourself to perform and produce and be productive and do all these things when you are struggling like that is not going to be a good thing. I feel like it's only going to make it worse and you're going to burn out even worse and potentially take even longer to come out of that. And so for me, like the last 2, 3 weeks have just been like, I need to make some adjustments. I need to slow down and pull back a little bit. So that's what I did. And I gave myself some space on that. I really took a long, hard look at, you know, kind of breaking it down to the smaller habits of like, okay, what am I doing day to day? I look a lot of about at like correlations on things. So when I'm noticing I'm having a harder day or that things are not going as well, things aren't going smoothly, and I'm struggling and I'm feeling down, I'm feeling more negative. I'm kind of looking for correlations to that or like triggers that maybe have contributed to that. And looking at, okay, so did I get enough sleep last night? Have I been drinking enough water? How much time did I spend scrolling on my phone? And there are a lot of these things, and I think I talked about this in a recent episode. A lot of these things are correlations that I've picked up on in my own life that I know contribute to me not having a good day and things just being shitty. So I think that's what you kind of have to look at too is what am I doing? Like, what are the correlations here? And what are the patterns here? Because when you can pick up on those things and have that self realization or the recognition of that, that's like the first step to being able to improve it and do better. And that self reflection period. And that's, I think, the hard part, at least for me, because it's just like, it's hard to look at how are you contributing to your own stress and overwhelm and difficulty, right? We don't want to like think that we're contributing to that. But I think when you are willing to self reflect and look at those things, it is a lot more empowering long term because you're going to be able to grow as a person, which is going to help you grow your business. And life is just going to be a lot smoother when you're taking accountability for your own actions and what you can control and how you can help improve your situation because at the end of the day, you can't control outside factors, but you can control yourself and your own habits and your own thoughts and your own actions and what you're doing. So, yeah, I was really taking a long, hard look at that. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like my boundaries got leaky. And so for me, it was like I was spending like every down minute or second that I had working to try and get things done. Like I just felt really overwhelmed. Like my to-do list was never ending. There's always something that can be done for the business. There's always something that can be done for the kids. There's always something that can be done at home. I think I just kind of realized that, like, this is never all going to get done, and I'm burning myself out and overwhelming and stressing myself out trying to get it all done when, like, it's just never ending, right? And I wasn't taking time to, like, slow down. I was still taking care of myself. It's not like I was, like, neglecting my own needs or things like that, but I think I don't know, I wasn't giving myself the space to, like, slow down and disconnect, and I think I was really and I'm sure, because you're a business owner as well, that maybe you can relate to this, because, like, your brain, it just feels like it never turns off sometimes, and you're always thinking about your business, you're always thinking about what needs to be done, trying to get things done anytime you can, right? The whole, "Oh, I quit my 9 to 5 to work 24/7" kind of thing, and, like, your brain I don't know, for me, my brain just feels like it never turns off, and that was difficult after, 5 plus years of just continually letting it do that. And I think a lot of my, like, family time and me time and downtime was getting, like, mixed in with work time, and it was just all blending and bleeding together, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I needed that time and that space, and I've heard some people call it, like, white space on your calendar of just, like, there's nothing there, right? You just need that downtime to slow down and, like, just be, I guess, in a sense, and, so that's what I've spent, like, the last 2 to 3 weeks doing is just slowing down, pulling back, and looking at what do I need to do day to day? Like, what habits do I need to improve on? And what do I need to make this sustainable? And so that's going to look different for all of us. Like, I'm going to share what I'm like changes I'm making and what I'm doing and what helps me, but it might look different for you. So just remember that when you're thinking about this and maybe just kind of think about, maybe where some of your correlations for what contributes to when you have a harder day or maybe some of the difficulties that you're going through and do you have control of and what habits and thoughts and patterns can you put into place and work on that would help you feel better, that would help you to make life and business more sustainable, to have things go smoother for you, to contribute to the kind of feelings that you want to have in your life, right? Because for me, my big thing is I'm trying to make decisions this year that contribute to me feeling like peaceful and smooth going and joyful. What other emotions do I want to feel this year? Like, I want to feel good about the decisions that I'm making. I want to feel good day to day. And so that's how I'm like trying to make decisions. The last few weeks where I've just hit this wall of realizing that I needed to make changes. So what I'm doing about it first and foremost is looking at my time and where I was saying that I feel like a lot of my family time and work time and personal time and like me time, all these different things I have going on, they were all kind of blending together and like bleeding together. So I've really tried to clean up my boundaries around my time. So when I'm working, like I have my work hours set and I kind of re-looked at that and okay, here's when I'm working, here's when I'm working, here's when I'm working. This is family time. This is time to clean my house. And so then when I'm like, okay, I'm cleaning my house this morning, I'm not like checking my phone and responding to emails during that time. I'm not scrolling on Instagram. I'm not trying to put up posts for clients. I will wait until I get to my office hours to do that now. And obviously my business is a little bit different than yours now, but at the end of the day, you still have times when like you're working and you're not working. And so for me it was looking at when those times were and making sure that I'm focused on the task at hand and not blending too because it just became too much. I was like, "Oh, I got this email, I should respond to it right away," or "I need to get on this right away for this client." And it was kind of like, "Okay, I still need to clean my house," right? Because I was realizing also that I'm getting behind on those things and I'm feeling really overwhelmed too because of just like, I need to do the dishes and if the dishes are piled up and they need to be done, that's making me feel more overwhelmed. So that was one of the correlations I was picking up on too. But then during my cleaning time, I was worrying about work. And so that was like, okay, I need to separate the things. So this is my time to clean. So I'm going to do cleaning and I'm not going to check my emails until I'm sitting down to work and do those things. And it doesn't need to be done right here, right now. I think that was kind of the urgency that I had. Like, I need to do this right now. I need to worry about this right now, when it really was something that was not an emergency and I could just do it when I had my office hours. And so really cleaning up my boundaries around, if this is my time to be with family, then that's my focus. I'm not checking my phone. I'm putting my phone down. I'm not worrying about my emails. And then, okay, if I'm cleaning right now, then I'm focused on cleaning. How much can I get done in this hour of time frame, right? How much can I get done in this 2-hour time frame that I have to clean? And then when I'm sitting down to work, it's like, okay, let's get this shit done. Like, I'm working right now, whether that's for you, like going in and taking clients and doing inventory and all those things, whatever deadlines you have. I feel like getting my deadlines done first is really helpful when I'm sitting down to like get my work time done. But like, I'm busting out as much as I can in my work time and making sure that anything that needs to be addressed today is done within that time frame. And anything that doesn't have like an immediate deadline, if I don't get it done in that time frame, I can revisit it again when I have my office hours or my work hours later on. So, yeah, really defining, this is my work hours, these are my family time hours, these are my cleaning hours, like this, like my schedule, really looking at my schedule, really looking at my time. I've been doing a lot of that in the last few weeks. And with that, I also realized that I was feeling really overwhelmed at the amount of like, because I get really overstimulated very easily. And so, like, just the amount of pure notifications that I get on my phone, and especially because we do social media management and I am logged into, I don't even know how many Instagram, Facebook accounts, like 20 plus. Like, I'm logged into so many different accounts. I was getting all these notifications. I was so overstimulated by just the pure amount of notifications coming to my phone. And like getting my email notifications, like, oh, I need to get on this right away. And I just realized like this is too much. And I can't keep doing it like this. So I, for the first time ever, which I had like my like TikTok notifications were turned off. I think I even had Instagram notifications turned off for the most part. But like, I, for the first time ever, have turned off all social media notifications to my phone. I've turned off all my email notifications to my phone. I turned off notifications from like apps that like I don't care about getting push notifications from, and so that I would get less. And my phone is so much quieter and it feels so good. Like, it feels so much better because I'm not stressed out about all these things and worrying about trying to get them done right away. And it's not super overstimulating to have my phone going off all the time. And it's not like I'm not picking up my phone as much. So that feels good too, because my goal is to like put it down more. Because I really just kind of in the last few weeks, like I just felt like I just want to take a break from social media. I want to take a break from things that I don't need to get done right now. Not like client work. Obviously, that's an important part. I was still doing all of that. But like, I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I wanted to be more present with them. Like, I just wanted to be and like not worry about all the extras right now. And I just, like, I literally put my phone on do not disturb for like days in a row. And I was still checking it when I had the time to, or like, when I was sat down to work and I needed to check my emails. Obviously, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do our client work, and I'm going to post for them. I'm going to do all these things and like keep things moving. But like, other than that, like, I had that shit on do not disturb for literal days in a row the last couple of weeks, and it was a very good, like, pullback and break from the overstimulation and the overwhelm that I was feeling, and I really needed that break. But I think the thing about burnout and hitting overwhelm and stress like this is that what I've learned about it is that a break is really nice, and yes, go take, because I hear lashers all the time. They talk about, okay, well, I'm overstimulated, I'm burnt out with clients, I'm really stressed out and I need to take a break. So they take like a vacation for a few days or like a week or whatever, but then they come back to it and they do the same exact thing. And that's what I was realizing in my own life too, that I've done that before where like I'm feeling overwhelmed or burnt out or whatever. I take a break and the break is great, but then you come back and do the same exact thing. You're doing the same hustle, the same grind, the same habits, the same thoughts, the same actions, and nothing changes if nothing changes, and you're just going to put yourself right back on that train to burnout if you're not changing what you're doing. And so for me, that was kind of what I realized too, is like, okay, I loved this break, but I realized that I need to change what I'm doing because otherwise I'm going to feel like go right back to that overwhelm, go right back to that burnout and stress. And maybe it doesn't happen right away. Maybe it takes you a while to get back to that, but you will eventually burn yourself out. You will get back on that train to burnout and ride it until you get to that destination, until you hit that overwhelm and that burnout again. You have to change what you are doing after your break, okay? And you have to look at your habits and your thoughts and your actions and your things, how you are contributing to your own stress and your own difficulties in life. So, yeah, that's what I realized is like, okay, I loved this break, but I know I need to keep not necessarily keep my phone on do not disturb all the time, but I need to turn off these notifications and clean up my boundaries around when I'm responding to emails, around when I'm checking client notifications on their social media pages, around when I am responding to clients, when I'm doing all of these different work related tasks. And as a business owner yourself, I'm sure you can relate to that where you have like client inquiries or they want to cancel, they want to reschedule, you have messages to respond to, you might probably have emails to respond to, you've got things that are going on, and so you can really define like the time that you have with that. And so that's something that I've really been cleaning up over the last few weeks, and it feels really good to have that defined time because I feel like my brain can have some downtime. And it's not that I'm not like, "Oh, I should check my emails," or, "Oh, I need to, do this." Like I still think about my business. I still know I have things to do, right? But I'm allowing myself the time and the space to just be and enjoy things and like find hobbies again. Like I feel like I have not given myself the time and the space to enjoy hobbies. I've been so focused on growing my business and raising my kids and showing up for all of those things that like I haven't really had a lot of hobbies. And so that's something that I'm looking at is like, okay, what things do I like enjoy doing in life? And how can I be doing those more regularly? Cuz yeah, we would go out and have family time and adventures and go kayaking and fishing and go do all these things that we loved, right? But like day to day, am I doing anything that brings me joy? Because I realized I was not doing things that brought me joy day to day. And I wasn't even giving myself this space to just even like relax or take that time to have any time to do anything that I found joy in. And I'm realizing that I need that to be able to show up as my best self for my husband, for my kids, for my clients, for my team, and I need that time and that downtime and that white space on my calendar to not even just show up for everyone else or show up for myself, but just to like dream and get creative and enjoy because I feel like that's when like my best ideas happen and I get the best energy to be able to grow my business. Like I get excited about it all again. I get excited to create content for our clients. I get excited to create content for myself. I get excited and energetic and like, hell yeah, let's record this podcast right now. And so I need that downtime and that space to slow down and disconnect and let my brain just relax. That's so hard for me to do. But I need that to be able to show up and make this all sustainable. So I'm looking at how can I sure I'm cleaning up my boundaries around what I'm doing to ensure that that happens and like actually get to enjoy some hobbies and do things that are fun and that I love to do, right? That was a hard one for me to look at too cuz it was like no one else was doing that to me but myself. So, yeah, that's kind of hard to admit, but it's true, and that's what I've been experiencing, and I'm sure there's other people out there who can relate to that, which I do know that because I posted a reel about it and a TikTok about it, and there were a couple of people that were like, "This is literally me right now too." I know I'm not the only one who has girl bossed a little too hard the last few years. And I think that, slowing down is actually going to be a good thing to help me grow even more because I am going to have this space and the capacity to be able to take on more and I've got my deadlines and I've got my time going well and like, being able to clean up boundaries around things, I think, is only gonna be beneficial to be able to help me grow my business more. It's been fun. I've been, like, riding bikes with my kids, and we've been playing with the neighborhood kids, and we've been watching movies together, and I'm actually paying attention to the movie, or at least trying to if I'm not falling asleep. But I've also been, like, baking a little bit more, which is something I used to do a lot of growing up and just kind of fell off the wagon with it for a while. But yeah, those are a few things that like I've been doing the last few weeks that it's just been enjoyable. Like we're just having fun with it, reading with my kids, like reading not like self-growth books or like self-development books and just like reading for enjoyment. So that's been a fun thing for me. And I've been actually doing that a lot more just this whole year, the last like 6 months or so. It's been a good thing. I've been enjoying it, and like I said, long term, I think this is gonna be some really good changes for me that are going to help keep things sustainable and give me that space to not have to be, like, stressed and worried about work and what I need to do all the time because that to-do list was just feeling, like, so overwhelming. I've talked about this before, I might have even have done an episode about this before of, like, social media boundaries to keep it sustainable and keep it a healthy place to show up, and, like, I talked about this at Lash Was Babes conference last year, and it's something that I'm revisiting again right now because I know I need to clean things up there again. Because social media obviously is a place that I need to show up on for our clients, for myself, to grow my business, all these things, right? We do social media management. I have to show up there. To make it a healthy place to show up, I need to make sure that I'm curating my experience there well and cleaning up my boundaries around it. And what do I need to do to make it a healthy place to show up? Because you do have control over the content that you see, the content that you interact with, the people who you follow, things like that. And so I was just realizing that, like I was saying earlier, like I was feeling a lot of self criticism. I was feeling a lot of comparison, just like really kind of struggling. Also, like the content that you consume, it like informs your day to day, right? It like informs your worldview and your beliefs, and it's like the voice in your head sometimes. So you really have to be careful about the content that you're consuming and also like be creating more than you consume. Like if you're just scrolling all day and you're not like creating and in that like flow and that own energy, like flow state energy of your own, like it's not going to feel good. And so I also was realizing I'm consuming a lot more and so I just was like, okay, wait. So I took my little break the last few weeks. I took like seriously 2 weeks off of social media other than posting for our clients and running our clients' pages. And I've never done that before in my own business. Like I've literally posted nearly every day, whether it's on my stories or a feed post or like I've just, scrolling through my own page. I've never taken time away from that, like this much time. I took like 2 straight weeks off and it felt so good, but going back into it and easing back into it now, I'm like, "Okay, I need to change some things." So, I've like unfollowed some accounts, I've muted some accounts, I have, kind of cleaned up like my boundaries around how much time I'm spending scrolling and if I'm like coming across content that's making me feel some type of way for whatever reason, and it's not necessarily because the content is bad or negative or the person posting it has poor intentions or trying to make you feel that way, but if I'm feeling some type of way, like I'm gonna mute the account, I'm gonna unfollow it, I'm gonna block it, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make it a healthy place for me to show up on. And I want it to be a place where, like, I show up and I feel uplifted and I feel good and I feel empowered and inspired and motivated And if content or a creator, an account isn't making me feel that way, then I'm not going to continue consuming their content. So I've really been hardcore cleaning up my social media following and just trying to ensure that it is a place that does make me feel uplifted and empowered and feel good and like not getting in my head on things. And it's not that I don't support people or, I'm being a hater or whatever else. It's just that I know I need to stay in my own lane and I can support them and cheer them on without having to consume their content every single day. Okay. So I think it's important to clean up your boundaries around social media to make it a healthy place to show up on so that you can consistently grow your business there without feeling the comparison and the overwhelm and the doom scroll of it all every single day because that's not sustainable. That's very overwhelming and it's not going to help you grow your business at all, honestly. It's just going to make you feel like shit. Cleaning up my social media boundaries. And that's kind of hard for me too, because it's like obviously since my business is different now and I'm doing social media management, that's what I do every day, posting for clients. I'm on their pages, doing outbound engagement and all these different things. It can be kind of hard for me to like limit my time there and not doom scroll and like, or not get distracted because it'll be like, okay, I'm going to go post this TikTok for a client and then like get distracted by TikTok videos, watching TikTok videos in the process. So I've kind of had to recognize that about myself and clean that up and like, oh, okay, I need to, oh, I'm catching myself in this habit and now I'm going to intentionally work on it and do better with it and try and like stay focused on what I'm actually supposed to be doing right now. Also, like just my habits, my day-to-day habits, like I realized I was getting really lax on things that I used to be like really good about, like making my bed and like doing the dishes every night and like cleaning up clutter or writing in my journal or, positive affirmations, my mindset, things like that. Like I feel like I was just getting really relaxed on that and not doing them super consistently anymore. So I just was looking at my day-to-day habits and my sister got me this, I don't even know, maybe it's called like a gratitude journal or something, but it has like a habit tracker in it and then it also has like a page where you can like write 3 things you're grateful for and like what's your theme song for the day and how are you feeling today? How was the day? What's a positive affirmation for the day? So I started doing that. And that's something like brand new that I just started introducing. So I can't speak on like the effects of it too much, but I think it's been a good thing just to get me in a good headspace in the mornings and kind of reflect on the day at the end of the day because it has like a space for you to do in the morning and then in the evening. And I'm trying to get more consistent on doing it both morning and night. But yeah, but it's been a good thing. And also like the habit tracker of just like really being intentional on my habits of like making my bed and doing the dishes every night and like just making sure like I'm doing the things that I know are going to contribute to my success and make me feel good and like set me up for success the next day because I just was realizing that, if it might not seem like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't make my bed this morning, but it's like when I do that thing, like I feel good about it. I'm following through on what I say I'm going to do. I feel more confident. I feel like I'm in my flow for the day. I'm getting things done. I'm being productive. I have better energy that way. I'm like, I just feel better. It makes the day go smoother for me. And so it's like these little things and like these habit stacking activities and just making sure that I'm following through on those things and I'm doing what I know I need to do that's going to contribute to my success and my growth and to having a good day because why in the world would I want to keep feeling the way that I was? And I didn't want to keep feeling that way. So I'm actively working on all of these things. I'm not saying I'm perfect at them, but I'm just like transparently and honestly sharing what I'm struggling with right now and what I'm doing to try and do better and pull through it and pull through this hard time for myself and just what do I have control of? How do I keep things moving? How do I keep growing? How do I keep moving forward through this the ups and the downs, right? Like I said, it's hard to look at what am I doing that's making me feel this way, right? How am I contributing to this? But at the end of the day, you only have control over yourself and your habits and your thoughts and your actions and what you can do to make your day to day better and slow down and enjoy the little things. And so that's what I'm working on right now. I'm being very intentional about it. I'm being really trying to be really cognizant of what I'm doing and intentional on just like the improving the little things because it's like, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed with my business. I'm feeling overwhelmed with life. Like I'm feeling overwhelmed with my to-do list. And I not you might not immediately think, well, I should make my bed every day and that's something that would help. But like it's those little habits that all stack and like play in together that I feel like really makes a big difference. And like little things like getting ready for the day in the morning, getting dressed, doing my hair and makeup, do like whatever. Like I know these things are gonna make me feel good, like making sure I'm washing my face at night, doing my skincare routine. Like these little things all add up and I don't know, for me, I'm always like, "Oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming because I have to do all of these things," and then I feel so good about it at the end of the day, but then I wake up or I'm going to bed, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do it all again tomorrow," and it's so much and it's so exhausting. But at the end of the day, like, it's hard to wake up and do those things, and it's a lot. There's a lot going on, like, as a parent and with 3 kids and all their activities and doing all the things for them, and it's hard, but it's also hard to feel like shit and to sit around doing nothing and doom scroll and know that I have a whole to-do list to do. I've got kids that need to be fed and taken care of. It doesn't feel good to fall behind on things. And it only makes like it it's overwhelming to like need to do the dishes and have all these things, or it's overwhelming to know that, oh, my I need to, I have a deadline for one of my kids tomorrow, and I need to make sure I'm ready for that and I'm prepared for that. It doesn't feel good to like not be prepared for those things, right? And so, or like it doesn't feel good to forget something for your child that they needed for school or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, I forgot to fill up their water bottle for them. I forgot to, you know, a little example of this, I forgot to wash my son's lunchbox last night. So now I have to wash it in the morning and that's more time and then that makes me later and it like it's just like a little example, but it's like it's hard to show up for yourself and do these things and stay on top of things and have a routine and hold yourself accountable and work on doing things better and being better for yourself and for your kids and for your clients and for your spouse and the people around you. But it is also way harder to sit there and feel like shit and let things fall behind and feel overwhelmed and stressed out. And I can tell you for damn sure that I feel so much better putting forth the energy and showing up for myself and showing up for my kids and showing up for my clients and doing the hard things and like it being exhausted at the end of the day. I would rather feel exhausted and happy at the end of the day than exhausted, overwhelmed, and feeling like crap because I'm not showing up for myself and I'm not doing the things that I know I need to do better for myself and to feel good. So either way, it's hard and you get to pick your hard. And I decided that I want to be exhausted and happy and feeling good at the end of the day and not feeling overwhelmed and stressed and like shit because I doom scrolled instead of getting my to-do list done. So, what are you going to choose today? I know that that was what I had to look at the last few weeks and be really give myself some tough love on that I'm not showing up for myself like I said I was going to and I need to do better. So that's where I'm at. And it's hard, but it feels so much better and I feel so much better. My days go so much smoother and I'm really honestly proud of myself for recognizing what I needed to work on and doing the work to make to improve on those things. I I truly hope that sharing this is able to help even just one person because I know these are things I wished I would have known years ago, especially when I first became a parent because I it was such a hard time in life. And so I really hope that it helps. It's not always like the easiest, like sharing things that you suck at too, or like you're not doing well with. But I also remember when I first started the podcast, 3 years ago, there was this lash artist in the industry And I'm not gonna use the exact terms that she used, but because it's inappropriate the way she described it, but she was basically saying that, like, podcasters and especially lash podcasters and beauty podcasters basically just stroke their own ego and only share their successes and their wins and just, "Oh, look how great I am," type of thing, and that has always kind of stuck with me since she said that, and the way that she said it was so funny, but like I said, it's inappropriate, so I can't share it here. It's just always kind of stuck with me, and I've never wanted this to be a highlight reel. I've always wanted to share the raw and the real, and I know that it's been a hard year for a lot of business owners, so I think if you really focus on these little things, it's stuff that is going to help you day to day, and it's going to help you week to week, month to month, year to year to be able to grow and to not just grow your business, but become the kind of person that you want to be. I listened to like the Ed Milet show once where he was talking about like how he wants to get to the end of his life and, get back to, seeing God again and God being like, I don't remember exactly how he phrased it, but basically like, this is who, I created you to be, and being able to meet that version of you that God created you to be and like recognize them and to be that person, right? And not see like the potential of who you could have become, and just like being able to be the person that you were born to be, who God created you to be, the universe created you to be. I know everyone has different beliefs, but that's just kind of the way that I've looked at it. And, you know, be the person that you want to be, show up for yourself. It's not going to be easy, but like I said, it's not easy to sit there and feel like shit either. So, yeah, I am glad and thankful to be me and to be able to have this podcast for the last 3 years, and I'm just so thankful that I'm even able to, like, recognize these things and get to share them, and, yeah, I'm just feeling like I have a really thankful and full heart today because of that, because I know even me 5 years ago, she wanted to do better, and she, was setting out to work hard for that, and I knew I was struggling at that point, and I feel like I've just gone through this whole phase of, like, what I can't explain in any other way than, like, waking up, I feel like, of just, like, recognizing how I can, you know, what I have control over in my life, and just recognizing all of the opportunities and the blessings and the ways that you can grow as a person and as a business owner and really become the person that you want to be and hit the goals that you have and go for your dreams. And I'm really thankful for that. So I'm so glad you listened today. I hope you're able to get something out of this. Start small, pick something that you can work on this week with a habit. Show up for yourself today. And thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you listen to podcasts at. We have new episodes out every Tuesday. Have a great week, and I will see you guys next week.